Disintegrate! All right. Hey, overload? Whoa, whoa, no, no. Oh. That was close. I'm still getting used to these newfangled phasers. Hi, guys.
Hey.
I'm Paul Carr. Could you point that down a little bit, please?
Oh, it's this one.
I'm Paul Carr. And I guess you're wondering what I'm doing here, seeing as how I'm resting eternally way out in L.A. But my mom, Elaine Coulon, is right there, and I come visit her a lot. Now, she's a little shy, but she wanted you to tell me wanted me to tell you all about myself. You know how moms like to dote on their only child. So, here I am. And you're probably wondering why I'm dressed for Halloween. Well, I'm not. This is the costume I wore for one of my favorite roles. I was Lieutenant Lee Kelso in the second Star Trek pilot, Where No Man Has Gone Before. Unfortunately, I was garroted by an alien, and I have the dubious distinction of being the first ever red shirt in the Star Trek series. Any Trek fan will tell you a red shirt is a crew member who is destined to be killed off during the episode. So I never got my share of Trek immortality enjoyed by my co-stars, William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. But I had a lot of other TV and movie credits, so I'm not better. Much. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I was born in New Orleans to Elaine Grace Coulon and Edward Carr on February 1st, 1934. My mom was a bona fide Cajun, with generations of her family hailing from Grand Isle and Barataria. My dad was a New Yorker who worked in publishing there. So I grew up sort of bi-coastal. I spent the winters here on the West Bank going to school with my mom's family, and the summers in New York with my dad's relatives. Now, at first I thought I was going to be a professional clarinetist. I even studied at the Juilliard School of Music one summer while I was in high school. But when I did a high school play, my dad saw me perform. He encouraged me to pursue acting as a career. Now, I don't know if it was because I was such a great actor or a lousy clarinetist, but the die was cast when I did a New Orleans community theater production of A la Creole. And I was thrilled when people laughed when I delivered my lines. After numerous local theater productions, I moved to New York. And in the early 50s, I studied at the American Theater Wing for 6 years. At the same time, I did summer stock, Broadway plays, a little local live New York TV. Now, none of that paid very much, so I made ends meet working as a window dresser, which is a skill that I learned when I was down here. I finally got a break in 1955 when I was cast in a small role in Alfred Hitchcock's thriller, The Wrong Man, starring Henry Fonda and Vera Miles. My movie career peaked in 1957 when I was the lead role in a rock and roll jukebox musical called Jamboree, where I was upstaged by pre-recorded video segments by Frankie Avalon, Fats Domino, and Jerry Lee Lewis. These led to a slew of B-movie credits with titles like The Posse from Hell, The Severed Arm, The Bat People, Sisters of Death. Now, have any of y'all ever heard of any of those classics? No, I didn't think so. Those movies did not make me a household name, but what they did do was, God, I forgot what they did do. I'm sorry.
They paid your
They
bills.
paid my,
Paid the bills. Sorry.
the check will be in the mail. What they did do was pay the bills. Something all actors would like to do. And they led to numerous television credits and roles. Okay? I had recurring parts on General Hospital, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. I did series that ran the gamut from soaps to sitcoms to dramas. I did westerns, Gunsmoke, Bonanza. I did Perry Mason, Mission Impossible, Dallas. I did a slew of science fiction series, from The Incredible Hulk, the Land of the Giants, The $6 Million Man. Hey, I was in the 2-part episode where they introduced the Bionic Woman. Bionic! Plus the Star Trek role, that's my all-time favorite that I'm dressed for. From my first TV role in 1957 to my last, A Murder, She Wrote, in 1992, I had 125 television credits.
Wow.
Add to that my 28 films, over 100 stage productions on Broadway and off, and I was one of the lucky few who was able to make a living throughout my long career. Despite concentrating on that career, my greatest joy came from my relationships. I had 3 wonderful children, Alexandria, Christina, and Michael. I was very close to my parents. They moved out to LA to be with me before they passed. And I had 2 precious granddaughters. In my spare time, I liked fencing and golfing, playing the guitar, and writing and directing. After a long battle with lung cancer, I passed away on February 18, 2006, at the age of 72. It may seem young, but I had a whole lot of living packed into those years. Guys, it was great reminiscing with you, but I gotta go see my mom now. I hope y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma, check out this razor!
And I'd like to introduce Scott Amaker. He's belongs to the Gretna Historical Society, and this is his 3rd time as an actor on the cemetery tour. And he's so convincing, I thought I was related to him.